providing an exceptional education where all students are known, valued, and empowered to thrive. Are there any additional items for the agenda? Hearing none, do I have a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Motion by Laura Size, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Joni Olson. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. Motion carries 5-0. Gotta count now. Recognition of visitors is an open forum. We have quite a few people in the audience. Welcome. Positive recognition. Does anybody have any positive recognition? I know there's a lot that happened in the last month. Go
You
for
want
it.
me to go? Okay, I'm sure I'm gonna miss something, so hopefully others can fill in. So, congratulations to those who competed in the Algebra Math League competition and those who placed first. In the fact drill, James Shanerock. In the individual round, Ava Place. In the algebra round, Lucas Jornt. And then JWP took the top 5 spots of that. And then tied for first in duos was Lucas Bajornt and James Shanerock and Ava Place and Emmett Cowden. And I'm assuming other schools were at this, but when I read that, it was like, it was here because everybody took first.
Well, you do it
It was amazing.
here, and then all the others, everybody's at their home site.
Okay.
And then they have to submit all the results.
Oh, but these were the results
Yep.
all around?
Yep.
Yeah, it was pretty cool that we took all those top spots, so that was really neat. Congratulations to Nevaeh Weimert for breaking the school record in the 200 at the state true team. Congratulations to the girls track team for taking first in the section track meet. And then congratulations to all those who competed at state in track and field. Grady Groman got 9th in shot put, Addison Condon 13th in long jump, Rachel Milkey 7th in 300-meter hurdles, Gavin Atherton 7th in 200-meter dash, and 2nd in the 400-meter dash. And then our 4x1 took 6th place, and that was Addison Condon, Ashlyn Wolf, Katie Olson, Nevaeh Weimert. Our 4x2 took 2nd place, Rachel Milkey, Katie Olson, Nevaeh Weimert, Ashlyn Wolf. And then our 4x4 also took 2nd place, Michaela Westfall, Nevaeh Weimert, Ashlyn Wolf, and Rachel Milkey. So doing really well this year in our sports. So congratulations to all of them. And then wanted to say congratulations to those who signed letters of intent. Katie Olson and Dalton Bauer will both be playing basketball at Bethany. Nevaeh Weimert will be playing basketball at North Iowa Area Community College. Quinn Krause will run cross country and track and field for the University of Wisconsin-Superior. Kale Langford will play softball for Rochester Community and Technical College. And then congratulations to the JWP baseball team who were co-conference champions, Section 1A champions, and the first team to make it to state in program history. And congratulations to Chase Gertz, who was the Gopher Conference Player of the Year. And then other all-conference members were Caleb Quast and Aiden Peterson. Honorable mention was Seth Dahlberg. Sportsmanship award went to Devin Cowden. And then all section awards were awarded to Chase, Caleb, Aiden, and Seth. And last but not least, congratulations to Jeffrey Simonson, who was named the Gopher Conference Player of the Year and also took 2nd place at the state golf tournament. So, very successful year for this class. So, I'm sure I missed some. Who'd I miss?
I don't know that you missed anybody, so.
I didn't hear anything about the basketball, the girls and boys, like there any all conference or anything like that. Anybody know those?
That would have been earlier in the year.
Yeah.
So
Well, congratulations to all. Does anybody else have any other positive recognition?
We had Ava Place go to Washington DC to participate in the National Spelling Bee. So that was fun to get to see her on TV and do her thing out there. So. she did not place, but proud of her for getting there.
Definitely.
She's the first one to go, right?
Yep, first one to go
JWP?
from our
Yeah,
district.
Pretty cool.
Takes a lot of dedication, and a lot of memorizing. All right. If nothing else, then we'll move on to the donations that we've received. So from Janesville Area of Commerce, $2,000 for scholarships. Janesville Memorial Day Association, $50 for high school choir. Various donors, $40 for the high school choir trip. The library system, not gonna attempt to pronounce it because I always do it wrong. $329.43 for the MYRA 2026 nominee books. Bulldog Backers, $765 for the spring senior banners. Bulldog Backers, $75.75 for the Fine Arts Hall of Fame board. And the Bulldog Backers, $220 for speech senior banners. So do I have a motion to approve the resolution accepting donations?
So moved.
Motion by Joni Olson. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Laura Size.
Size,
Yes.
Bourne,
Yes.
Cahill,
Yes.
Olson,
Yes.
Dashner.
Yes. Motion carries 5-0. All right, on to the student representatives report. And you probably had everything Laura just said.
Oh, you know it. Heydays. Heydays started today. Festivities for like a long time. You want to go to those. Other than that, sports, we've been doing good. It's summer. That's all I got.
Yeah, not a whole lot going on in summer. I think isn't the pageant tonight?
Oh,
It's
Yeah.
actually
Thursday.
Thursday.
oh,
I thought it
Yeah,
was tonight.
tonight is the fashion show at Trinity.
Yep.
I see.
and there's the reading challenge. If anybody want, I think it's only teens, but the summer reading challenge in the local libraries.
Oh,
Janesville one, you can win a Kindle
Wow.
cool.
for reading. Yeah, I'm working away. Don't you worry.
Well, good luck. Okay, on to the superintendent report.
It's been busy. I've been gone a lot at different events and things. Got the opportunity to go watch boys and girls at state track. Also, got to walk with Jeffrey for his 36 holes, and then spent Thursday and Friday up in St. Cloud for baseball. So that was nice. Nice to be home, but it was a lot of fun to go support those student athletes. So, lots of stuff going on in the schools, even though it's summer. Mr. Adams is working on a grade book overhaul. They've made some changes over the last few years, and they like those changes, so they're gonna make those for all subject areas and all grade levels. Our PLC, they're starting to set up PLCs for both the elementary and high school for next year. Planning dates and setups for different concerts, conferences, and we're still looking to hire a long-term sub for special education. And then in the high school, we're still looking for a science teacher. Both principals have all of the state reporting done. Credit recovery is going well. I think last year we had 41 students in credit recovery. This year we have 14. Mr. Rysdam, along with Mr. Shruen, because Mr. Shruen's doing some interim hours with him right now. They're starting to looking into the transfer curriculum through MSU as a PSEO alternative. Master schedule is set for next year, and currently our PSEO numbers are down, and our English CIS classes are gaining traction. We'll have 2 CIS speech classes, 1 lit class, and 1 comp class. So English is gaining a lot of ground with their CIS classes. Activities, Nikki's been crazy busy with all of the state stuff going on, which has been great. Jared Larson is the band teacher at WEM. He's going to be doing some marching band stuff with our students tomorrow and Wednesday, and bringing over some students from WEM, so they have a marching band to go through the Heydays Parade. All of our sports seasons have come to an end. We will have a float for all the state participants in the Heydays Parade. Thank you, Mr. Bourne, for helping out with that. And then Nikki's getting the sponsorship contracts ready, hopefully today, and we'll start securing some funding for that for the 26-27 school year. Wendy's been working on budget. We're switching our school credit cards from BMO to US Bank, so we're making that switch right now. We'll approve the budget tonight, and then Wendy's also doing a number of presentations about the permanent school funding. Tomorrow is her first one at the Waseca County Commissioners meeting. Community ed, we have summer SAC is up and running. That's going well. Swimming lessons will be starting before too long. They're still waiting for the certification of the pool. But they do have all of that stuff scheduled. Buildings and grounds, the cleaning is in full swing. We're looking at dates to get the canopy put up on the front playground. Adam's been working with the Chromebook carts. They seem to have went well this year. New switches have been installed, and he's just doing some tweaks on Fridays when there's not as many people in the building. Annika's been doing the Red Rover implementation final stages. We did hear back that we did not get the MTSS grant or the Harbor Freight grant. However, Jenna Shanerock is working on a grant for some graphing calculators. A ULA update is we do not officially have to put Mr. Sorensen on a ULA because of the law that says if he's licensed in an area, we have to hire him for that area, so that will make him a 1.0 music teacher. Board elections are coming up. We have four open 4-year seats. And then just some stuff that I'm working on is getting all of our summer reporting done and submitted to the state, and getting clock hours put together and submitted to the state. So that all has to be done by the end of this month. So, any questions for me?
Is the science teacher position still posted, or?
Yes.
Okay. I just didn't see it on Facebook to share,
Okay. We'll put it
but
back.
I'll look at it.
Yeah, we'll
I'll
get it
look
back
for
on page. We'll make sure it's still there.
What do we do if we?
We have some ideas, and we've kept Mr. Wrestler in the loop on our ideas and everything.
Do we have to do anything like rescind or anything in the ULA? Okay.
Nope.
Any other questions? All right, thank you, and we will move on to the treasurer's report. Take it away.
Yes, so treasurer's report, our cash balances are showing there for the last 3 years. We got kind of our last big payment on our aid and taxes, so we'll see that dip happen again in the summer. But I'm not too worried about cash flow right now, but any revenue we can get is always great. The student counts updated June 3rd. The state did their state edit, and our ADM right now is sitting at 589.42. So a little more than our budget, which is good. That number will get finalized. Final reporting for this school year will go to the state in October. And then we'll get like our final, here's what your ADM is for 25, 26 in January. So we'll just keep an eye on that and, check in if there's any discrepancies that we see over the summer and make sure that that number is correct as we finalize those numbers with the state. Down on the bottom, that our orange line is like our number of students that are sitting in our building and getting served, and the blue bar is the number of students we can actually count. So we have a lot of partial students, which is a shift. We've kind of talked about that, but just want to highlight that again, that, over the past few years, we just are serving a lot of partial students, and as we look at space and staffing and all those things, that we're serving more students than we get money for. So just kind of the reality in our district right now. And as David talked about, or Mr. Erler talked about, Mr. Rysdam's report, working on some of those ideas to help keep more of our high schoolers in our building and instructing them ourselves so we can get that funding. And then the permanent school fund ballot question, as Mr. Erler mentioned, tomorrow morning I'm going to the Waseca County Commissioners meeting to talk about this. The permanent school fund, we've talked about it kind of briefly, but I wanted to give you something to hang on to and refer back to in your report here. So the permanent school fund is land set aside in the Minnesota Constitution, and the revenues generated from that land, either through leases or natural resource harvesting and mining and things like that, that money goes into a trust that the State Board of Investments takes care of. And right now that fund is at about $2.3 billion. And issues were brought to the legislature talking about how this fund continues to grow, and the dividends and interest that goes to the schools from this trust fund kind of remain kind of small. So a task force was put together in 2024 to talk about and study and decide if they had some recommendations to help pull out more of the earnings, dividends, growth, and distribute more of the fund to the schools. So they have some recommendations, and there will be a ballot question in November on our ballot asking to amend the Minnesota State Constitution regarding this trust fund. And the question is there, shall the Minnesota Constitution be amended to increase funding going to all school districts from the permanent school fund, which is a fund that supports school districts without raising individual income or property taxes, effective July 1, 2027. So voters will see that on their ballots. It'll be a yes/no question. A majority of the voters will have to vote yes for it to pass. So this is just like any other yes/no question on a ballot in Minnesota. If a voter skips the question, it's not a yes vote. So encourage people to, if you talk to people at election time, to find that question on their ballot and make their choice and fill in one of the circles, whether they want yes or no. But the impact to JWP, this is all kind of what ifs, since it hasn't passed yet. The trust fund gets divided out among all the students at public schools, so it's all based on our ADM. It's a per pupil amount that we get. Most recently, we got about $68 per student, and so if we look at our estimated counts for 25-26, if our ADM is at 588, that $68 would be $39,984. If we were calculating the trust fund distribution as the task force is recommending, we could be getting $96 per student, so about 40% increase on that. So we could be getting $56,448, an increase of about $16,000. Again, our ADM will fluctuate, the fund value will fluctuate, so it's not going to be set in stone like that, but that's just kind of an illustration of what passage of this constitutional amendment could do for our school district. And then I have a link there to the Minnesota School Boards Association. I don't know if any of you watched the webinar. It is on the Minnesota School Boards Association website that you can go watch the video with a lot more details and more information about it.
You mentioned that you didn't have any concerns about cash flow yet. Is there something on the horizon that you have concerns over?
No, not necessarily, just that,
Okay.
as we kind of move through, if we, in future years, if we can't keep our balance budget, then there will be concerns,
Okay.
yeah.
And will you talk a little bit about the MTSS grant and how that, will you talk about that when we get to the budget?
I did not,
We didn't
yeah,
plan for
it
that.
wasn't in the
Understand.
budget, yep.
No, understand. Do we
yeah,
know
I
why we
think-
didn't get it? Do we have any,
Yeah, from my understanding, there was just a big demand for it, and the funding was limited, and we just didn't make it to the top of the pile to get the funding. There were other districts that had greater need and were greater gaps in setting up a program than what JWP had. So, I mean, the good news is we were doing a really good job at our program, so I guess it kind of looked like we didn't have as big a need as some of the other districts that were trying to build a program.
okay,
Is that fair?
sorry.
So
Sorry
we-
to hear that.
Yeah.
So we did have it before,
You had it for
1 year.
the 1
Yes,
year?
we had it last, 25-26 school year, we had additional funding for MTSS to get our program going. But we were denied for the 26-27.
And so how does that impact the budget with not having that money, but the program's still going?
I don't think it should.
It-
It was just kind of helping to supplement our principals, to kind of give them some set-aside time to implement some processes and procedures, so.
Okay.
But as you planned for next year's budget, we didn't plan to get that
Right.
grant.
Right, right.
Okay. Any other questions for Wendy?
And we'll do more, not promoting, but informational stuff about the fund for the community, so they understand that it will
Yeah.
not raise their taxes and, Yeah.
Yep, so I'll get in touch with city councils and, maybe just some other groups around the area. If there's anybody you'd like to talk to or want me to talk to, and certainly glad to do that.
okay.
All right, thank you very much. On to the approval of the consent agenda. Is there anything that needs to be pulled from the consent agenda? If not, do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Motion by Laura Size, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Joni Olson. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. Motion carries 5-0. Got no old business, so on to the new business. The E ECSE Wasika Shared Services Agreement.
So this is an agreement we have with Wasika for use of some time from Lisa Greenlee this spring, this summer, as their ECSE numbers go up. Ours are staying pretty firm with where they are. So therefore, we're contracting her out, so we get supplemental payment back to, for her services over there to help offset her costs to our district.
Any questions on that? If not, do I have a motion to approve the E ECSE Wasika Shared Services Agreement?
So moved.
Motion by Kevin Bourne, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Laura Size. Is there any further discussion? No further discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. Motion carries 5-0. Now to approve of the ARCC fiscal year 27 contract for support services.
So ARC is who we go to for our student information system called Infinite Campus. So they are our support system. When we have issues, if something comes up, they help us solve those issues. They keep everything updated for us and keep it moving in a good direction for us. So this is a recommendation from the service co-op also that we use them.
Any questions on that? Okay, do I have a motion to approve the ARC fiscal year 27 contract for support services?
So moved.
Motion by Laura Size, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Kevin Bourne. Is there any further discussion? If no further discussion, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. Motion carries 5-0. All right, on to the JWP and NERHAG shared service agreement for certified occupational therapy assistant.
So we have a certified occupational assistant that comes in to our school and works with students on a regular basis. We have it set up where we pay 40% of the contract. NERHAG pays 60% of the contract, but they hold the contract. So this is just the agreement that we'll pay our 40% of it throughout the year.
Any questions on that? Do I have a motion to approve the shared service agreement?
So moved.
Motion by Laura Size, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Joni Olson, is there any discussion? If no further discussion, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. Motion carries 5-0. On to the 26-27 preliminary budget.
Yes, here we go. Again, just starting out with our strategic plan, connection of community engagement, our fiscal responsibility and transparency, and building a balanced budget, and working to adhere to our fund balance policy. The beginning part of the presentation, the information is kind of the assumptions used and some of the information about the different funds. The ADM I used was 590. We have a lot of kindergartners enrolled, more than we have in the last couple of years, a couple more. And then the PSEO participation is anticipated to be a little bit lower. So that number is accounting for some PSEO, lower PSEO participation. Again, I didn't include any of the ECSE students, so as their participation comes in and we get their service hours throughout the year, we should see that enrollment change. The food service fund, lunchtime solutions, built out a projection for next year, so I relied primarily on that based on our food service participation, who's eating our lunches. Community service fund, again, we're just kind of estimating based on prior years the tuition and fees and participation in their programming. That includes our school age care, the preschool program, early childhood family education, and then recreation and enrichment community education programs. That includes driver's ed and some of the other swimming lessons, all those things that happen in the summer and throughout the year. And then our debt service fund, the revenue is required to be 105% of our bond payments, so that's what you'll see there. Down in the expenditures, a lot of this is similar to what we kind of talked about last spring with our revised budget. The salaries are accounting for the raises that were agreed upon in the contracts as this cycle continues. Our purchase service budget has been accounts for some of the lower costs, like our payroll provider, our Red Rover, and Bound that Activities uses. So we were able to get some lower cost services. However, other services that we have significant increases. So that line item did go up when you look at the budget and the expenditures, but lower increase than what could have been, I guess. It's always that give and take of those expenditures. Supplies and equipment budget, just kind of spending trends from prior years. We don't have any big purchases on the horizon. The technology expenses include a lease payment for the Chromebooks, operating capital, just different items there. Nothing real significant, just kind of tried to maintain and keep with what we've done in the last few years. Food service fund expenditures, again, just kind of worked with Lunchtime Solutions on their projections. The equipment repairs and other expenditures line, you'll see an increase on that. We're looking at maintenance services, instead of having some big equipment go down, trying to get, just kind of get on a maintenance cycle with some of the equipment. So Mike Dashner's working on that with the kitchen so we bumped up the budget a little bit for that to make sure that we can keep all our equipment running really well. Community service fund, I think the big thing there is I took the utilities allocation out to help them get their fund balance back in the black. We don't have any big changes. The salaries and wages kind of looked at, based on the staffing we have right now. And Samantha doesn't anticipate any major staff changes going forward with that. And then, of course, the debt service fund, the expenditures is our payments that we'll be paying in the next fiscal year. So the chart then for the general fund is the top one. You'll see that we are hoping to spend $70,000 less than what we take in. So trying to move that fund balance back up to where we need it to be. With the dollars in the restricted funds and things like that, it looks like we'll end up at about 6.61% of our fund balance as we work back towards that 25%. And then in the community service fund, they're still going to likely be in the red, but a little less in the red. We're looking to spend about $11,000 less than what we bring in. So Samantha will continue to work on that. She's looking at different fee structures and things like that to keep that trend going. And our debt service, again, is just kind of that in and out. We get the money that we need to spend on our payments. And then the food service fund is growing again as well. We'll continue to see that go back up and bring in more than we spend.
So the community service fund, that was one of my questions about, do we need to raise the fees to get that back? Or is she looking at doing that for this next year already then?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. So when we look at, once she gets some more numbers with registrations and things like that, in our revised budget, we'll have better numbers to put in here for, once we get those kind of real numbers. Right now, these are just kind of projections.
Yeah, we at least like to break even at community service and
Yes,
not go
yes.
under on that one.
Any other questions?
Well, again, sorry, I hate to hear the words hope. So what kind of confidence? I mean, hope's not a great word,
I agree.
especially
Yeah.
when we're talking about
Yeah.
planning and strategy and budgeting.
Sure. Sure.
So are there a lot of things that you're literally just hoping that they go our way? Or, I mean, where do you see where are your real concerns? Because when I hear things like that out of my chief financial officer, I'm concerned.
Sure. Yep. Fair enough.
So if you're concerned, then we should probably be really concerned.
Yeah, I guess I'm feeling more confident about this year. It's the future years that
Right.
where I'm feeling the more the hope and the concerns. And it just that the expenditures and revenues that we have, they're just so tight right now. As we've been looking at where to make some cuts, it's still just really, really tight, really, really close to the same and a break even. So, as far as I'd feel better if we were able to cut some more expenditures in order to get that a little farther away from our revenues.
Right, because our last budget projection rate on 05, or 25, 26, which was what, just back in May, you know, we were only gonna have a $160,000 loss. And now we're at 300, right? For a revised budget? Did I not see that number right on this one?
Scroll up. Just scroll down, sorry. Right there.
Is that number, I can't read it from here.
300,000.
Yeah,
Yep.
So we went from just a month or so ago of that 3-year projection to 05, 06 being only $160,000.
was our 160, was that from, that number's sticking in my head for 27 before we started doing our negotiations. Or did I,
This is from May 5th.
okay.
So on May 5th, you know, when we did the whole 3-year, you know, looking out 06, 07, 08, 09. Because yes, 08, 09 is the one that we're all looking at the $500,000 shortfall. So again, my concern is just in May, we were looking at $160,000 loss. Now our revised is 300. So that alone is another, you know, 140,000. So just,
Yeah,
I'm really wanting to make sure,
Sure.
because one of the hardest things that I think we all had to do was we had here a few years ago where we thought we were doing better than we were, and then all of a sudden the cuts really hit us hard.
right, yeah.
And so I just want to make sure that we're proactive in leading up to a year like 08, 09, when we're projecting a $500,000 loss, that we ease into that rather
Right,
than try and cut $500,000 all in 1 year. That would be detrimental.
Absolutely, yep.
So I just struggle, I mean, I know we have to pass something tonight, but I'm just gonna be honest, hearing hope and seeing the differences just from literally a month ago, I'm concerned, that's all.
Sure,
And I know we can change preliminary, but, you know, we set a lot of expectations around positions and funding and so on, and I don't wanna let people down. So, just my 2 cents.
Anything else for Wendy? All right. Do I have a motion to approve the fiscal year 27 preliminary budget?
So just remind me, if we don't approve it tonight, just remind me what our procedural, why do we have to do it
Sure.
tonight?
it needs to be done before June 30th.
Okay.
So we could,
Okay, so we
Set
really do
another
need to
meeting.
do it tonight. Okay, thank you.
Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion by Laura Size. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Joni Olson. Is there any further discussion? If no further discussion, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. Motion carries 5-0. First reading of the following policies. It says substantial changes, but they're not a whole lot of substantial changes. It's just ones that it's been many, many years since we have reviewed them.
Okay. That's what I was
Yep.
gonna ask, because I didn't see any changes in some of them.
Right,
It was
and
just-
so just if everybody can just, and they're all pretty short,
Yeah.
if you can just kind of look at them and kind of give thoughts or ideas. Any questions on those? Okay. Now to designate Jeremy Erler as the district identified official with authority for education identity access management.
So every district has to do this, and it's typically the superintendent. It's a matter, so I can go into the state system and identify people who can authorize stuff through the JWP state system. It's typically Annika, myself, Wendy, Samantha, Nikki that do the authorizing. I just have to give them permission through the state system to do it.
I would make a motion to approve Jeremy as the IOWA.
You're officially Iowegian.
No,
Motion by Kevin Bourne, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Laura Size. Is this a resolution? No.
no.
Okay, I thought I saw something in there that said resolution, so. Is there any discussion? Because I saw, yeah, board resolution.
We should do roll call just in case.
Yep, works for me.
Cahill?
Yes.
Sice?
Yes.
Joni? Yes. Kevin?
Yes.
And Sherry?
Yes. Motion carries 5-0.
Now you're officially Iowegian.
Have been for 5 years then.
Okay, our upcoming meetings, July 20th is a regular meeting. We don't have a study session in July. August 3rd, we have a study session with finance and operations. August 17th is a regular meeting. September 14th is a regular meeting. October 5th is a study session with curriculum and instruction. October 19th is a regular meeting. November 2nd, we might want to change those dates. It says 2024.
Yes, doesn't it? Why does it do that?
Study session followed by the Comprehensive Achievement and Civic Readiness meeting. November 16th, a regular meeting. December 7th is a study session along with the Truth and Taxation meeting at 6. December 21st, a regular meeting. And Monday, January 4th, 2027, an organizational meeting and study session. So with that, we will adjourn at 6:12.